Hello and welcome to practice. For today's class, you'll want 2 blocks, and we're going to get started using our blocks in a supported back bend. So you're going to set your blocks up something like this in a supported fish pose. Now this is the option for the bigger back bend. If this feels too big once you come to lay down, then what you'll do is bring each block down 1 degree. So this is the second option. We've got lowest height, medium height for a little bit of a smaller back bend. If you're going to go with the bigger, which I'm going to go with for today, you're starting with medium height, highest height, both the horizontal way. Sit in front of your blocks, place your feet on the ground, and then very slowly start to recline back. And you want this first block right about at the base of the shoulder blade. So what I will say is usually people put this a little too low, and this is going to cause your front ribs to puff out. So it's might be a little higher than you think it should be. Second block is to support the head. And then rest your arms by your sides, palms up, and you can do whatever feels good for your legs today. You could straighten them, you could bend your knees. I'm going to bring soles of feet together, knees apart. And then take a moment just to settle in. Sometimes it takes a little fidgeting around to make sure you're in the right spot over the blocks. And then do make sure your palms are facing up so the fronts of the shoulders can draw down and back. Let your eyes soften or close. And start to feel your shoulders get a little heavier towards the ground. Feel your collarbones widen. Relax your belly as much as you can. And then invite a slow, deep breath in through the nose, sending the breath down to the low belly, the very bottom of your lungs. And take an open mouth exhale. And just clearing the breath out. And let's do that one more time. Breathe in. Send the breath down into the low belly, maybe hold at the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, and let it go. And now start to find a steady breath in and out of your nose if possible. And keep your attention on the feeling of the inhalation. So how does it feel in your body to breathe in today? Maybe you feel your belly expand or the ribs fill up. You might feel a little more opening in the front body right now as we're in this back bend. And then notice how it feels to exhale. Maybe you feel your belly draw in, your ribs move down and in. This sense of letting go, of creating space with the exhalation. Inhale, feel your belly expand, fill up. Exhale, feel it soften. Stay for another full cycle of breath here. Just settling into this quieter, more still space. And then if they're not already, use your next inhale to bend your knees, bring your feet to the ground. Now from here, you're going to start to bring your arms out wide to a T. So arms out to the sides, palms still facing up, and try to straighten your arms as much as you can. So don't let your elbows bend and sink down, but really straighten your arms, spread out through the side. And then as you straighten your arms, try to keep them straight, lower them towards the ground as much as you can. And so you may or may not touch the ground with your hands. It really doesn't matter, that's not the point. But try to keep your arms straight and draw your shoulders down a little bit if they're hunching up. And notice if your front ribs are kind of puffing out. Imagine you could knit your front ribs towards each other, almost like a corsetting action. Another breath. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Palms are now facing each other. Stay as you exhale. Move your front ribs down and in towards your frontal hip bones. Keep that. Reach your arms back behind you as far back as you can. Same idea. Try to keep your arms, your elbows straight, even though they might want to bend. And if shoulder width apart feels like a little too strong on your shoulders, just bring your arms a little wider. That's no problem. Stretch back as you breathe in. Stay as you exhale. Move the front ribs down and in. So we're trying to isolate the opening in the shoulders, the upper back, rather than letting the front ribs and the low back take over. One more inhale, reach back. Maybe lower the arms a little more. And then exhale, lower your arms down by your sides. You can come off the blocks however it's easiest. Either roll to one side or sit upright. And then we're going to come to a comfortable seated position as I get a little music going. If Virasana is comfortable, you'll take Virasana sitting on at least one block. The block goes the wide way in between your heels. Big toes extended straight back. thighs parallel. You can, of course, sit on 2 blocks. You can also do a cross-legged seat if that feels better for you, just crossing out the ankles or shins, but do sit on at least 1 block. And now try to elevate your spine, sit up taller, and feel your chest stack over your hips. Feel the crown of your head over your chest. Imagine that there is this central axis kind of running down from the crown of your head to your pelvic bowl. Bring your arms out wide to a T. Turn your fingers up towards the ceiling, extend at the wrist. Draw your fingers as far back as you can and move your arms out to the sides. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, bring your hands to the low back, interlace fingers, right thumb on top. Stretch your knuckles back and up as much as you can. And now from here, lower the chin into the chest. Bring the interlace towards your right outer hip. Squeeze your elbows in. And now drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Keep squeezing the elbows in. Front ribs move in and down. Take another breath here. Keep your left hand where it is, so you'll keep a half bind. And then release the interlace. Bring your right hand to the kind of outside of your left head and just kind of use your arm to deepen the lowering of the right ear towards the right shoulder. Notice how it feels to tuck your chin into your chest here. Notice how it feels to look forwards or to even look up a little bit. And wherever you feel the most sensation, let's stay for an extra breath. And now from here, start to bring your left arm out to the side, palm facing forwards. And kind of same idea, you can play with stillness or a little movement, sometimes moving the left arm back or forwards or, closer to your side. It's going to change the stretch. So wherever you feel that sweet spot that's a little extra stuck, you'll stay for an inhalation. Stay for an exhalation. Gently release your head, come back towards center. Okay, let's do the other side, arms out to the side. Turn your fingers up, extension of the wrist. Draw your fingers as far back towards your face as you can. Notice if your front ribs are puffing out, knit them towards each other. Interlace fingers behind the back, left thumb on top. Stretch your knuckles back and up as much as you can. Breathe in. Exhale, chin to the chest. Bring the interlace towards your left outer hip. Pin your elbows in. And then drop left ear to left shoulder. And now from here, keep your right hand where it is. So we'll keep a half bind for now. Release the interlace. Left hand grabs the outside of the right head and just kind of gently nudge the left ear a little closer to the left shoulder. You might be looking down. You might be looking forwards or up. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You don't want to overdo it. You shouldn't be in pain, but maybe feeling a little something in the right side of the neck or the trapezius muscles. Another breath in. As you exhale, start to bring that right arm out to the side, palm forwards. And again, maybe you just stay still. Maybe you notice how does it feel to lower the right arm or to move it back. Does that change the stretch? So don't be afraid of a little exploration in the poses. Stay for a full breath in. Stay for the breath out. And then gently release your head, come back towards center. Okay, good. Come off whatever you're sitting on. Have your blocks near the top of your mat. And let's find a tabletop position with your hands a big 2 to 3 inches ahead of the shoulders already. Hands are shoulder width apart, wrist creases parallel to the top of your mat. Tuck your toes under and push back, down dog. Look at your feet. Are they about hip bone apart and parallel? And then if it feels nice, start by pedaling out your feet a little bit. Bend into one leg, bend into the other. You could open and close the jaw a few times. Might feel nice after we did a few neck stretches. And then with your next inhale, lift the heels, but plug into the ground with a big toe mound, so you're not on your tippy toes, but balls of the feet rooting down. Keep that rock forwards plank pose. Catch your hip shoulder height. Always option to lower your knees to the floor. Either way, look a little forwards. Reach your chest forwards, push the heels back. Push the ground away from you so your arms are straight, shoulders spread across the back. Another breath in. Downward facing dog, exhale, maybe a little bend in your knees as you push your hips up and back. Let's flow through that. Inhale, rock forwards, plank pose. Breathe in. Downward facing dog, little bend in the knees, hips up and back. Inhale, rock forwards. Reach your heart forwards. Push the heels back. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, come forwards, plank pose. This time as you exhale, lower slowly all the way down. Point your toes. Tense your fingertips off to the side. So your hands will come off your mat. Press down through your feet. Inhale, lift your head, your chest, your shoulders, tented cobra. And as you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift up. You decide how high to lift your chest. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring your left arm out wide to a T, in line with your shoulder. Crawl it to the left, and then roll onto your left side. Step your right foot behind you, or you could stack your legs, whatever feels best, really. Use your right hand to push into the ground. Try to roll a little more on your left shoulder. And then if you'd like, reach your right arm to the sky. Turn your palm back so your thumb will move counterclockwise towards 6 o'clock. And you can start to stretch your right arm behind you any amount. Same idea. Play with a little movement. How does it feel to move the right arm further towards your feet? How does it feel to move the right arm closer to your head? So we're just getting curious in these poses. There's no one right way to do any pose. There's actually a very old saying that there's like 100,000 ways to do every pose. It's how you do the pose that matters, not just what you're doing. And now very slowly come back onto your belly. Walk your hands in. Bring your right arm out to the side in line with your shoulder. Crawl it to the right. And then roll onto your right hip. Step your left foot behind you or stagger your legs. Press into your left hand. Try to roll a little more on your right shoulder. And if you'd like, reach your left arm up. Your thumb will move clockwise towards 6 o'clock. Reach your left arm back. And a few breaths here. Work towards finding that sweet spot where you're like, something feels a little stuck, a little sticky, and I'm gonna hold there an extra breath or so. And one more deep breath in. And then exhale, come back onto your belly. Place your hands by your low ribs. Push back into a child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees just about shoulder width apart, not too wide. Push your hips back. Relax the head between the upper arms. It might just be kind of dangling through your arms, might not touch the floor. Use your hands to push the ground forwards. Feel your hips melt back. Try to lift your forearms away from the floor so you're not sinking through your armpits. And then wrap your outer upper arms down, your triceps down, but do that as you press into your thumb and index finger. Don't let that part of the hand pop off the ground. Deep breath in through the nose. Maybe an open mouth exhale. Downward facing dog with your next breath in. Lift your hips, tuck your toes. And from down dog, raise your right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and open up your hip. Try to lift your right inner knee to the sky as you squeeze your left hip back. Straighten the legs, square the hips, breathe in. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Get your toes in line with fingers. Drop your back knee to the mat. And from here, come into a low lunge. Sweep your arms forwards and up. Direct your front ribs down and in towards the frontal hip bones. Aim your tailbone down towards the back of your left knee. Bring your arms out wide to a T. Take a breath in. As you exhale, start to twist to the right. And now notice if you're kind of leaning and resting over your front thigh, lengthen your tailbone down so your chest is over your hips. Every inhale, go up like you're going up an axis. And every exhale, twist around that axis. Spin the left ribs forward, the right ribs back. Inhale, go up. And exhale around. One more breath in. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Right arm to the sky. Tuck your back toes if you'd like, straighten your back leg. Bottom hand can be on a block if you'd like, of course. Bend your front leg and push your left thigh up. Inhale, chest forwards. Twist a little more as you exhale, spin the top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. One more breath in. Bring your top hand down. Come to fingertips or grab your blocks if you use them for pyramid. Breathe in. Straighten your front leg. Exhale. And we're going to pulse that. Inhale, bend your front knee, runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg, folds. One more time. Inhale. Exhale and stay for a few breaths. Squeeze your right hip back and spin your left hip forwards. Use your exhales to fold in a little closer to your front thigh. And go ahead, rebend your front knee, plant your hands, downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your left leg up. Bend your knee, open up the hip. Try to lift your left inner knee to the ceiling. Straighten the legs, square the hips, breathe in. Exhale, step your left foot forwards. Drop your back knee, low lunge, sweep your arms high. Stay as you exhale, move your front ribs down and in. Make your tailbone heavy. And then bring your arms out wide to a T. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the left. So try not to lean over your front thigh. Don't just lean your chest back though, but correct the pelvis. Tailbone down, left hip lifts off the thigh. Use your inhales to go up. Your exhales to twist around. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to rotate. One more breath here. Slowly place right hand down, left arm up. Bottom hand can of course be on a block. Tuck your back toes, and then if you'd like, straighten your back leg. Use your inhales to lengthen. Reach your heart forwards. Use your exhales to twist. So finding a little more length in your spine as you breathe in, and then deepening the twist as you breathe out. One more breath here. Exhale, top hand down. Grab your blocks if you use them for pyramid. Keep your feet as they are and straighten your front leg. Ooh, this side feels tighter. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend your front knee, runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale to bend. Exhale, straighten your front leg and stay. Relax the head and neck. Squeeze your left hip back, your right hip forwards, and try to fold in towards your front thigh as much as you can. Rebend your front knee, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to a plank pose. Lower all the way down to the belly, exhale. Point your toes. Slide your hands back by your low ribs. Do make sure your elbows are over your wrists. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other. And then low cobra. Lift your head, your chest, but keep your hands pretty light as for now. So if you feel like your hands are in front of your elbows, walk them back. Squeeze the elbows in and drop the gaze a little bit, back of the neck long. Now feel free to stay here in a low cobra. If you're ready for an up dog, push into your hands. Your arms will straighten, and then lift your thighs and make sure your shoulders are over your wrist. If they're not, adjust your feet, not your hands. It's much easier. Thighs lift and up dog. Roll the shoulders back. Pull your heart forwards. One more breath in. Down dog, exhale, hips up and back. Stay for a full cycle of breath. And then as you inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, take a little stroll to the top of your mat. Find a forward fold. Feet about hip bone apart. Bend your knees a lot. Let your head drop towards the ground. Bring all your weight into your heels. Bring your awareness to the backs of the legs. Let your upper body feel super heavy. Can you keep your attention in the backs of your legs and use your legs to roll you up? Vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your time. Your chin is the last thing to lift. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up at the top. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your left wrist with the right hand, go up as you breathe in. Side bend to the right as you breathe out. And you can really let that left hip pop out here and try to pull your left arm to the right. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, grab the right wrist with the left hand, go up as you breathe in. Side bend to your left as you breathe out. Pull the right arm a little further to the left. And then inhale, center. And exhale, arms by your sides, mountain pose. You can keep your feet about hip bone apart and parallel, or big toes touch, little space between the heels, whatever feels best. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, hinge at your hips, maybe a little bend in the knees. Chest forwards, hands to shins or fingers in line with toes. Plant your hands, step your left leg back, and then the right plank. Knees can be up or down. Breathe in. Now your choice, lower halfway, chaturanga or to the belly. Cobra or up dog is your inhale. Down dog is your exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Find a little stillness in down dog. Of course, could be stillness in child's pose or tabletop. Let your head relax. Keep the breath steady in and out of the nose. Press into your hands to really push the ground away from you, creating space from your hands to your shoulders to your hips. One more inhale here. End of your exhale, step or take a little hop forwards, feet to your hands. Lengthen your spine at the top. Exhale, fold in. Come all the way to stand, root to rise. Reach up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Again, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Chest forwards, breathe in. Plant your hands, step the right leg back first, and then the left plank. Knees can be up or down. Breathe in, heart forwards. Lower halfway or to the belly, exhale. Take your back bend as you breathe in. Shoulders are over the wrists and up dog. Down dog, exhale. Full breath in. Gentle breath out. If you feel the low back rounding in down dog, take a little bend in your knees. If you can straighten your legs without rounding the low back, then start to sink your heels into the ground. Press your thighs back. Use your legs just as much as the arms. One more full breath in. Exhale, feet to your hands, step or a little hop forwards. Lengthen your spine at the top. And exhale, fold in. Come all the way to stand. Use your legs to come up. And exhale, arms by your sides. Let's do one more sun A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Chest forwards, breathe in. Plant your hands, either step to plank, or if you practice hopping to bent elbows, go for it. Come through your vinyasa. If you'd rather just step back to a down dog or even a child's pose, go for it. Your body will tell you what it needs. Breathe in. Stay for the exhale. Alright, take a full breath in. Another exhale. And then with your next inhale, raise your right leg to the sky. Tap your knee to your left upper arm. Exhale, get as high as you can. Try to keep your arms straight. Three-legged down dog. Breathe in, send the right leg up. Step your foot in between your hands as you exhale. Get your toes in line with fingers. Now spin your back heel down and open up wide to a warrior two, facing the long edge of your mat. Take a nice wide stance. Work towards making your front thigh parallel to the mat. Maybe you have to inch it forwards a bit to do so. Make sure your knee's over your ankle. Turn your fingers up, extension of the wrists. Push your arms out to the side, but notice if your front ribs are flaring out. Push your left thigh back, lengthen the tailbone down, and then sit a little bit lower, bend the front knee a little more. Now from here, bring your hands to the low back, interlace fingers, right thumb on top. Start to stretch your knuckles back as you breathe in. As you exhale, start to tilt forwards, and I recommend looking even towards your back foot to keep your chest open. So lean forwards, another breath. Okay, take a half bind. Left arm wraps behind you. Bring your right hand to a block outside your right foot for half bound side angle. Ground through your front heel as you bend the front knee and press your knee against your right arm. That's going to keep your knee over the center of the foot. Press more into the outer edge of your back heel. Use your inhales to lengthen from the crown of your head to your back foot. Use your exhales to twist open. Spin the top ribs back, the bottom ribs forward. Stay for one more cycle of breath. Roll the top shoulder back. And then inhale, left arm up, turn the palm forwards. Sweep your top arm up and over your extended side angle. Exhale, hands down. Come to the ball of your back foot. Twist, reach your right arm to the sky. Turn all 10 toes to the right. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. You'll have to move your front foot a couple inches down the length of your mat. Lift your bottom hip as high as you can. Open your chest. Maybe the gaze goes up. And then turn the right palm forwards. Sweep your right arm up and over your ear. Breathe in. Try to straighten your right arm a little more. Exhale, right hand down. Plank pose. Lower half wire to the belly. Take a vinyasa or come straight to down dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, tap your knee to your right upper arm. Twist, get as high as you can. Three-legged down dog, breathe in. Step your left foot forwards, get toes in line with fingers. Spin your back heel down. Open up wide, warrior two. Work towards making your front thigh parallel to the mat with the knee over the ankle. Turn your fingers up, extend at the wrist. Make sure there's no bend in your back leg. Push the right thigh back and aim your tailbone down towards the ground. Now your chest is facing the long edge of your mat. You might turn the gaze forwards. And then bring your hands to the low back, interlace fingers, left thumb on top. Straighten your arms back as much as you can. Start to tilt forwards, lean towards your front thigh, maybe even look at your right foot. It helps to keep your chest open. And then take a half bind. Right hand wraps around you. Left hand to a block outside your left foot, whatever height works for you. Press your knee against your left arm. That's going to engage your left outer hip. Straighten your back leg. And then try to turn your chest towards the long edge of your mat. Every inhale, lengthen your spine. Every exhale, twist open a little more. Use your inhales to create length. Your exhales to open. With your next breath in, right arm up, turn the palm forwards. Swim your top arm up and over your ear, extended side angle. And then right hand down, come to the ball of your back foot. Twist, reach your left arm up. Turn all your toes to the left. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. Adjust your front foot down the length of your mat a few inches. Lift the bottom hip a little higher. Turn your left palm forwards. Swim your top arm over your ear. It's like an extended, funky side plank. I just made that up. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down. Plank. Take a vinyasa or straight to down dog. Full breath in. Drop to your knees, exhale. Point your toes. Shift your hips back so your hips are over your knees, and then crawl your arms forward for a puppy pose, Anahatasana. So your forehead may or may not come to the ground. If it's bothering you, you could place it on a block. Do make sure your hips are over your knees, not over your feet. And then crawl your hands forward. Try to straighten your arms a bit more. Press into your hands and start to lift your elbows and forearms away from the mat, so you're not sinking through your armpits. And then just like down dog, wrap your outer upper arms down. Spin your inner arms, inner shoulders up. Do that as you stay grounded through your thumb and index finger. Try to lift your front ribs away from the floor, so you're not sinking through the low back. Take another breath here. Child's pose, exhale. Hips towards the heels. It might feel nice to rest your arms back by your sides. Give the shoulders a little break. Take a couple breaths. Come back to that smooth and steady breath. Focus a little more on the exhalation, and that sense of creating space as you breathe out. And then with your next inhale, you'll very slowly start to roll up, sitting back on your heels or a block if that's uncomfortable. Bring your fingertips to the ground behind you. You can even do this with hands at low back. Find a little lift in your chest, a little mini back bend. Roll the shoulders back. If you want to lift your hips off your heels, go for it. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Lower the hips slowly. Bring your hands to the fronts of your thighs. Do a little rounding of the spine, like a little cat pose. And then curl your hands forward through tabletop, back to down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, tap your knee to your left upper arm. This is our last standing piece. Right leg high, breathe in. Step your right foot forwards, exhale. Spin your back heel down. Open up wide, warrior two. Turn your fingers up towards the ceiling. Interlace fingers, right thumb on top, behind the low back. Stretch your knuckles back. Keep your chest facing the long edge of the mat. Tilt forwards, forwards, forwards. Take a half bind, wrap your left arm behind you. Now your choice, you can either do right hand to a block outside your foot as we did before, or work on a full bind. Wrap your right arm under your thigh. Roll your shoulders back. Try to lean your chest back a little bit without puffing out your front ribs. So draw them in, engage your core. Stay grounded through your feet. You can even imagine your feet pulling in towards each other. Deep breath in. Okay, keep your half bind. Bring the right hand to the block if it's not there already. Start to straighten your front leg by moving the right hip back. You might have to bring that right block back a little bit. You might have to bring the block higher. Roll your top shoulder back. Breathe in. Stay to exhale, stay rooted through your feet. With your next inhale, reach your left arm up. Turn the palm forward, extended triangle. Sweep your top arm up and over your ear. I love this stretch. Try to straighten your left arm. Reach forwards a little more. One more breath. Exhale, hands down. Crawl to the left, face the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes out, heels in, and roll up into a goddess pose. Hands to your thighs. Straighten your arms, let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. Take a breath in. And then exhale, dip your right shoulder and look left. As you inhale, come to center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder, look right. Come to center as you breathe in. Now this time, straighten your legs, arms out wide. Warrior two, just for a breath. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior, lean back. Exhale, hands to the mat and pause. Come to the ball of your back foot. Right arm to the sky, twist. Turn all your toes to the right. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. Adjust your front foot down. Option to stay with that top knee bent, or option to stagger your legs, or even stack them. It's going to be a little harder to balance if you stack. Turn your right palm forwards. Sweep your top arm over your ear. Lift the bottom hip higher. Open your chest. Push down with your bottom hand. One more breath. Exhale, top hand down, plank, pause at the center, come straight to down dog. We'll do a vinyasa after we do both sides just to even out the shoulders. Full breath in. Exhale, let it go. Okay. Left leg high, breathe in. Tap your knee to your right upper arm, twist. Three-legged down dog, breathe in. Step your left foot, exhale. Spin your back heel down. Warrior two. Open up wide. Turn your fingers up. Interlace fingers, left thumb on top. Stretch your knuckles back. Your chest is facing the long edge of the mat. Lean forwards. Take a half bind, wrap your right arm behind you. Option to bring left hand to a block outside your left foot, or bring your left arm inside your thigh and work on the full bound side angle. Bend your front leg a little more. Can you straighten your back leg and then roll your shoulders back? Open your chest. Keep the front ribs drawn in. Keep your half bind. You're going to bring your left hand to the block if it's not there already. Start to straighten your front leg for triangle. Your hips will move back, but heart stays forward. Maybe you have to slide the block back a little bit or bring it higher. Roll the top shoulder back. Triangle is an open twist. Turn your torso towards the long edge of the mat. And then inhale, right arm up, turn the palm forward, swim your right arm up and over your ear. Extended triangle, try to straighten your arm, reach forwards a little more. And then lower the right hand down, turn to the right, face the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, roll up into your goddess pose. Hands to your thighs, straighten your arms. Sit a little lower. Full breath in. Exhale, dip your left shoulder and push your left thigh away from you. Inhale, center. Exhale, dip right shoulder. Inhale, come to center. Straighten your legs. Warrior two to the top of the mat just for a breath. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior. Hands to the mat. Come to the ball of your back foot. Twist, reach your left arm up. Turn all your toes to the left. Adjust your front foot down the length of your mat. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. Option to stay. Option to stagger feet or stack. Turn your left palm forward. Swim your top arm up and over your ear. Lift the bottom hip. Open your chest. One more breath. Exhale, top hand down, plank. Vinyasa if you'd like, or come straight to down dog. Full breath in. Take a gentle breath out. Drop to your knees and lower your forearms to the mat. All right, make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders, no wider. Root down through your forearms to push the ground away from you. And then tuck your toes under. Lift your hips, dolphin pose. Your head's not on the ground, just barely grazing over. You can walk your feet in a little bit if that feels okay. You can, of course, bend your knees. And then either stay or raise your right leg up. Try to straighten the leg. Lift it as high as you can. Take another breath in. Slowly place the right foot down if it was up. And switch left leg high. Straighten your left leg if it's up. Push the ground away from you. Take another breath. Exhale, left foot down. One more inhale. Push the floor away from you. Press your chest back. Drop to your knees. Exhale. Point your toes. Sit back on your heels. Tense your fingertips behind you or hands to low back. Little back bend. Lift your chest. Draw the shoulders back. If you want to lift your hips off your heels, do so. Maybe look up. Full breath in. Open mouth. Exhale. And then lower your hips. Bring your hands to your thighs. Round your spine a little bit. And then from here, come to lay down on your back. Okay, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a little rock side to side. Reach your right arm straight behind you. You're gonna roll onto your right hip. I need to scooch my hips a little to the left. Roll onto your right side. You're resting your head on that right arm, or it could even be on the ground or on a block if you prefer. Bring your knees a little closer into your chest. Raise your left arm to the ceiling and reach so far up it's as if you could touch the ceiling. Take a breath here. Exhale, slowly open your left arm out to the left. Go inch by inch. Take your time. If you find a sweet spot, you're like, oh, something tight or interesting is going on there, then hold it for an extra breath. Your head might start to come to the floor. Your left arm may or may not come to the ground. And take a few breaths here. Continue to reach your left arm out to the side. So really spreading across your wingspan. Slowly start to make your way back onto your back. Find the midline of your mat for a moment. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then reach your left arm straight behind you. You'll roll onto your left side. And just rest your head on your arm. Knees into the chest, and then reach your right arm to the ceiling. Take a breath in. And exhale, slowly open inch by inch. So it's not a race to the ground, but think of it as a journey of exploration through this right side. How does every inch of movement feel on this right side? Can you find that sweet spot that maybe is a little extra tight or sticky? And then can you notice it? Bring your awareness to it. And rather than trying to analyze it right now, just breathe into it. Knowing that just being aware of it is sometimes enough. And the body will really do as it's meant to do. It'll heal as it's meant to, but sometimes all we have to do is just become aware of where the healing has to happen, or the opening needs to happen, or the strengthening, or whatever it is. Just notice it, breathe into it. And slowly start to make your way onto your back again. Find the midline of your mat. And draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Maybe a little rock side to side. Just kind of massaging out the low back. And if you'd like, find a happy baby, grabbing the edges of your feet, your shins or your thighs. You could do a little rock side to side here. And then bring your knees into your chest. We did a lot of front body opening, so take a full breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, if you'd like, curl up, bring your nose, your face as close to your knees as you can. Curl up and breathe into your back body. Big flexion of the spine. Take a full breath in. Stay to exhale. Try to curl up a little more. Hug your knees closer into your chest. Gather everything back into your center. One more breath in. Fill up. Open your mouth, exhale, and extend the legs out forward in front of you. Rest your arms by your sides. Allow the arms and the legs to splay out. Let your eyes soften and close. Notice any final sensations that are lingering or that have come up. Ones that were there before, ones that are new, or ones that you're just noticing now. Notice without evaluating. Invite a slow, deep breath in. Fill up your entire body with fresh air. Hold at the top. Try to sip in a little more air. And then open your mouth and clear it out like you're making space. Keep your awareness on the natural feeling of your breath here. And if you'd like to stay here longer, I invite you to stay as long as you have. Otherwise, start to deepen the breath. And bring little movements back into the body. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. And then slowly roll to one side of your body, and using your hands to prop yourself up. We'll meet in a seated position with our eyes closed or the gaze soft. And find that very tall spine. Relax the shoulders. And keeping that openness in your chest, bring your hands together in front of your heart as you inhale. Exhale, lower the chin towards the chest. And bringing gratitude towards ourselves, each other, and towards this practice. Thank you so much for being here, for practicing with me. Om Shanti. Peace.